What you want? What you want?
You're listening to The War Report, a wrestling and relationships podcast with your host, Vince Barry. The War Report is brought to you by TagMeADate.com, where wrestling night is date night. Sign up now, and your first month is free. All right. We are live and in public, if you will, baby, on a Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time here. Joining us once again for the War Report podcast, brought to you by TagMeADate.com, is our TagMeADate.com crew, although a little shorthanded right now. I am your host, Vince Barry from Northeast Wrestling, and the War Report is where we discuss all things pro wrestling, because we don't discriminate here. We go to the indies, we go to the pros, we go everywhere in between. We participate, and we've got news on news. And I'm offended. I'm going to talk to Ryan the intern, who's not here right now. He writes up our really, really thorough outlines. The one thing that he neglected to put in the news, which I consider news, and everybody should consider news, is Matt Taven's knee injury. But we're going to talk about that.
Right.
So it's on the list. So Ryan, if you're listening, write Matt Taven in and save it, and then send it to me again. No, don't do it. So we'll go around. Wouldn't that be just a jerk thing to do to the intern?
Do it again.
Do it again. Better this time.
With feeling.
With feeling. How's it going, Eric?
It's going pretty good. I just got back from a little break from the real world.
Very nice.
Very unhappy about going back to work tomorrow.
Right.
But I had a good time. It was my niece's first birthday. Uncle Eric's favorite tag team, the twins, and I'm proud to say they're wrestling each other, and I couldn't be more proud as an uncle. But things are going pretty good. I got back here. I flew in a couple hours ago. I'm ready, back in time. I'm ready.
Back in time.
Back in time.
I love that song. Well, I really like Huey Lewis, mostly because of Back to the Future. But he does have good songs that aren't Back to the Future related. But most of them are Back to the Future related. How about you, Steve? How are things on your end?
Things are good. I keep him busy. We have we've had some discussions. We have some things that we're working on to just make Tag Me a Date bigger and better for 2016. We have some new partnerships, some new things that we're getting into, so we're excited. We got a lot coming up, and keep checking out TagMeADate.com.
Excellent. Yeah, I sat in on the meeting, a Skype meeting the other day. That was it was enlightening for me, because I don't get a chance to see the work that that Chris does on the back end there, with designing the site, etc. So it was nice to see, get his perspective on things, and also share just thoughts and suggestions, and I think we came up with a few things that are going to be implemented, or at least I'm definitely going to push for at least one of the things that we talked about be implemented, and relatively soon. And I'm pretty excited about them, because I think they're going to set Tag Me a Date apart from your traditional dating site, because let's face it, dating sites all really do the same thing. It's just about who you're looking for. You're going to put in a zip code or whatever, and you're going to find a person. It's just going to happen. But if you want a fan of wrestling, you go to Tag Me a Date. It's not just go to OkCupid and hope they like wrestling, or go to Plenty of Fish and hope the girl wants to watch the Royal Rumble. It's like you go into it knowing this person's going to watch wrestling if you want to watch wrestling. Which is great, because my girlfriend wants to watch wrestling, so I don't have to worry about that. And again, you can do that on TagMeADate.com. So and the stuff that we're going to add, the suggestions that I made, and the things that we discussed in this meeting were really encouraging. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to actually getting in there and assisting with it. That's my goal, is that I want to help out. So let's get to some wrestling. Do we have a 5? Eric,
I think we did. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. It gives me an excuse to
Thank
play
you,
our song.
Ryan the intern.
Yes, Ryan the intern has given us 5 topics. Usually,
Conspicuous by his absence, but
Right,
he still
conspicuous by-
provided us some great information.
he absolutely did. I am gonna have him redo it and send it to me better the next time.
He
No,
fulfilled his purpose, though.
he did. So we get to play the song because we have 5. We play the song.
And you're gonna get a 5 count. Do you hear that? You're gonna get a 5 count.
3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. Just give me more time to keep your
And the floor is yours, sir.
All right. Well, I guess we'll start off with Raw. We have directly after Raw last night was the Ric Flair podcast, but we'll with Stone Cold. We'll get into that a little bit. It was very entertaining. There was well, I know we talked about SmackDown last week as far as going back to USA now.
Right.
I have to say one thing: Mauro Ranallo is a fantastic person to have on the announce team.
No, he's very cool.
They were actually talking about the matches. God forbid.
Isn't that a nice change? They're actually talking about the matches.
Nice. It's nice. And but to their credit, I understand when you have somebody barking in your ear all the time, it's kind of hard to talk about the matches. But
Now, how many guys are in the booth for SmackDown? Is it 2
I
or
think
3?
now it's 3.
Okay.
And 3 for Raw. I actually don't like the 3-man announce team. I never did.
I liked it when WCW did it. I don't like it when for some reason.
Guy.
Right. And then they would bring it like everybody knew their role. Like Shivani would do play-by-play, and then like Brain would do color. But when it was a lucha match, Tenay would come in, or a Japanese match, and Tenay would come in and kind of explain things, and then Shivani would back off while Tenay did his thing, but he would still contribute. Like that's what I liked about their stuff. Is then they'd bring in Zbyszko, and then Zbyszko was a big babyface because they chanted Legend for him every time, and then they chanted Weasel for Brain. So you had babyface heel dynamic there, and those guys both did color commentary while Shivani did play-by-play. But Zbyszko could throw in like the experience of a wrestler because the other 2 guys weren't wrestlers. Tenay was a baseball commentator, so he was able to, Zbyszko would be like, oh, if he, tightened his grip on that hold, it would be more painful or whatever, some example like that. Uh-oh.
We interrupt this broadcast for the return of Big Heck.
I should have that at the beginning of the recording.
What up? What up? What up? What's going on, fellas?
It's really good to see you, Heck.
Yo, it's always a pleasure, man. It's my pleasure.
And our numbers went way up after last week.
Yeah,
And we think
seriously.
it's attributed to you, man.
What did they go up to like a whopping 13?
Dude, like a 70% increase.
Yeah, we got a big bump from you, dude. So
Nice.
we're
Nice.
calling it the Hector bump. I think it's working.
There you go.
So we just started talking about
Not to be confused.
topics. You're cutting out a little bit. So we just started talking about what we're going to discuss, and I guess since you're here, what do you think? You want to talk about Raw, or you want to talk about?
Did you go through the Friedman 5? I haven't heard that music in quite some time.
We did just do the Friedman 5, yeah.
Can you play the music for me one time?
I will absolutely play the music for you again because I enjoy it as well. Why can't we do it again? Here we
What's
go.
wrong with it?
Right? There's nothing wrong with it. We get it's our show. We get to play it as much as we want.
Nice.
You're gonna get a 5 count. Do you hear that? You're gonna get a 5 count.
3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. Just give me more time to keep your ass alive.
I wish they could still use that song somehow because I
Yeah.
really, really like that. And I like the New Day song, but I like Big E's old song.
I just like that Big E is the biggest talker of the group because he does deserve it.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. He's great. Yeah, everything is booty.
No one can gyrate like that man.
No one. No 300-pound man can gyrate like him, except maybe me.
There you go.
So what was the 5? I got to hear this.
All right, so we got Raw, the Stone Cold podcast with Flair last night.
I didn't get to see that.
Sting Hall of Fame.
Sting in the Hall of Fame, which is awesome.
I disagree.
Oh, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. Now, as disappointed as some of us were with James Storm back in TNA, at least we do get the reformation of Beer Money.
Beer Money!
So that's something to talk about. And something that, and we talked about this, something that the intern neglected to mention, Matt Taven out with an injury.
Matt Taven out with an injury.
A severe knee injury, really requiring two separate surgeries. So it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That sucks. When's the next house show?
For Northeast?
NEW, yeah.
Yeah, the 30th. It's a Saturday.
And then you have the Hammerlock in February, right?
Yep, that's the 13th, I believe.
Sweet. That's cool, man.
Yo, and we announced the stadium show. Did you guys see that? Freaking, we got Kurt Angle and Mick Foley already announced for Wrestling Under the Stars this year. So,
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
those are a lock. And Kurt, it's good because Kurt is on, his TNA retirement tour or whatever, so it'll be nice to see a fresh, relaxed Kurt Angle. Perhaps.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing from Raw that I thought, I love how, I mean, let me rephrase that. I didn't love the way that they I thought they should have hid Brock Lesnar the entire show. I didn't like knowing when he was going to come out, basically, because, you show Heyman twice during the show, and basically he's going to close the show in some fashion. And then, of course, once Vince McMahon says this is the one versus all match, I was like, all right, I see what's going to happen here. If he's going to be in the Rumble, he's going to show what the hell he's going to do in the Rumble at the end, and blah, blah, blah. So
Right.
that
It
was
became
just
very
so,
predictable.
you could see that from a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
But just seeing him out there is always good. What was it, like 3 months now that he hasn't been on? So there's always a nice.
Since Hell in the Cell, I think.
Yeah, it's really a nice surprise, or lack thereof. I don't know. Last week I said the best running storyline was Charlotte and Becky. This week I thought that got a nice little bump, especially with Becky coming out like a crazy savage. That was nice.
Yeah, I liked it. They need more emotion like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Becky, and then she cut a promo afterward, right? That was like a
great promo.
Yeah,
Promo.
she's got it, man. She really, she gets it.
Yeah. So that was cool.
What about Kalisto winning the U.S. title?
Yo, Kalisto.
I didn't see that coming.
Representing for the Latinos.
Seriously, no, that dude's fantastic.
Well, I think it's hilarious that 2 Mexicans held the United States Championship back to back, but that's just me.
They should just, they're calling it Mex America. Maybe they should just continue calling it the Mex America.
Nah, that was cool. I like that. What spurred the whole Latino movement, bringing back Del Rio and stuff like that, was basically, from what I read and understood, was like an investor call that Latin America had like serious numbers, like way down and stuff like that. So they needed a big push. So I'm glad that that's kind of in the works. It just gives me a shot to be in the WWE.
Yeah,
As a luchador?
Absolutely.
Hector Grande. Yeah, that would be great.
Big Head Grande.
If you could do a moonsault, I would just, I don't know. I would love it.
I could do a fucking 5-star.
Do a fun.
Yeah, I'll be all right. Other than that, so there was one big thing that caught my attention today. So this actually gets me a little bit hyped. I don't know if it's fact, if it's fiction, if it is even feasible due to insurance and stuff like that, but Rock versus Taker at WrestleMania because Cena's
No,
out. So obviously that was going to happen.
no.
I don't think Rock's gonna wrestle. I don't think Rock's gonna wrestle.
I don't think he's gonna wrestle, obviously because of like movies and stuff like that,
Right.
insurance policy. But dude, I would love to see that.
Really?
I just think it would be such a great way to kind of, basically get all the stars aligned for Mania.
It would be a good way to get the part-timers in one match,
Yeah, exactly.
It would
Instead
of taking two new guys and having them both put over two legends.
I thought that was good. That kind of got me hyped today just reading about it. But I really think it's it's basically you got better chance of winning the Powerball than that happening. But
yeah,
I will be playing Powerball, so hopefully that could happen.
Right.
Guys will never see my fat ass again. You see me via webcam.
Yeah, if we hit Powerball, I don't think the show will be on for quite some time because we'll all be in the.
Yo, I'll meet your ass on the beach. We can pay Chris and Ryan to run the website. Fuck that. Let's go to the Bahamas.
That is true. Anyway, what else you got? I
want to hear why. I want to hear why you're not happy about Sting being announced.
That's a big one. Yes.
Sting. So. How does someone get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame for having 2 WWE matches?
But it's not. Yes, it's the WWE Hall of Fame, but it's the wrestling Hall of Fame.
Because they own the rights to WCW. So
Abdullah never wrestled in the WWE.
See?
Abdullah Butcher never had one match.
Okay.
But do you honestly?
I know what it is. It's the name. I'm not dumb. I understand.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You don't think Sting should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, but in the WCW Hall of Fame.
There is none.
Yeah, the one that doesn't exist. Yeah.
What they need to do is they need to have their own Cooperstown in Stamford and have a wrestling Hall of Fame.
Well, I heard they were going to do that in either Tampa or Orlando.
Oh, really?
Yeah. WWE was looking like they were even thinking of at one point putting it on the Full Sail campus. But I don't know if I'd like that as much.
I mean, outside of WWE, there is an actual Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, a real one.
Yes, the Cauliflower Alley Club Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. They have a conference every year in Vegas to do the inductees, and I've always wanted to go. Because got old timers like Harley Race and should show up. So it's a good if you can afford a ticket and make it out there. It's a nice little weekend.
Nice.
All the belt makers are out there and shit. Yeah.
Do you think he'll be the headliner, or do you think they'll finally induct someone like The Rock? Is Rock in it?
I don't think Rock's in the Hall of Fame.
Rock's not in the Hall of Fame.
Rock's not in the Hall of Fame.
Do you think this will be the year, or do you think Sting is the headliner?
It depends.
No, I think
someone like Rock or Undertaker, then they'll be the headliner. But if it's not someone bigger than Sting, then Sting will be the headliner.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have a headliner because they're gonna want it to be a WWE guy.
Think so?
Yeah, because why would the WWE Hall of Fame headliner be the WCW guy?
A WCW guy, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
who else is
gotta
out
have
there?
somebody. Oh, fucking Owen.
Owen Hart.
Taker would be the right call if he was looking to retire because it's Texas and it's his home state, and it would be a good moment. But I don't know.
Owen would be nice. It would be long overdue, and I think they're slowly reaching that thing where it may happen. They are looking to. They may finally induct the Freebirds this year.
Oh, that's the other one I heard.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That if it's the Freebirds, that could be their headliner.
Considering where they are and the history with
WCCW territory. Right. It's WCCW territory, and the Freebirds have a run in WWE. They actually had you can see part of their run in the WWE if you watch the first Highlander movie. The Freebirds are wrestling Haku and somebody else at the beginning of the show, or at the beginning of the movie. And for some reason, the Highlander and the other Immortal are both at Madison Square Garden watching wrestling. So they meet in the parking lot and fight, and that's the first fight is right after a wrestling match. It's just like, okay, this is the most 80s movie ever.
What else? What else was on that 5 that we could jump into?
Well, TNA's been making moves. Like James Storm came back. They reformed Beer Money. That kid Ethan Carter won the title, but then during the tapings, he lost it to Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy turned heel, and then Ethan Carter turned babyface, like an Austin Bret Hart kind of deal. And like they've been booking guys like this guy Shinron, the Dragon Shinron, who's a real good indie wrestler. They're booking him. They signed up Mike Bennett for a contract. So they're aggressive, and TNA's making moves. And
I still don't have Pop TV.
there are stations. Yo, did you hear this? And I don't mean to talk smack about Pop TV.
Be right back, guys.
All right, I don't mean to talk smack about Pop TV, but
Never mind, I'm back.
all right, there are some channels or there are some stations that carry or networks that carry Pop TV that still show the TV Guide channel at the same time. So you're watching TNA in a box.
Oh, that's retarded. Wow.
Yeah. So in some markets, people probably wouldn't even watch it because they're like, well, why am I going to watch this
I'll
shit?
tell you that right now. If I get Pop TV and that's how it is, I will not be watching TNA.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
look,
have to check. I haven't even watched my Pop TV yet.
because I don't have Pop TV, I went and read some TNA spoilers because I really don't care. And I'm reading it, I'm like, God, this shit is awful. It's just awful. It's just been awful for quite a while. Not to say that WWE hits a home run every time, because clearly they don't. I'm just saying, just TNA. Oh God, just put a bullet in it already.
Well, what do you think, Heck? Since I know you only got a couple minutes.
I never watch it, so that shit can go to hell.
All right, well, how about this? Let's switch gears. We haven't talked about the fact that John Cena is out through Mania.
Yeah,
That's right.
I think
That is
that's
another one added to the list.
yeah. The list is crazy.
Right, and all I keep hearing is people are freaking out. My God, what are we going to do? What are they going to do? They got all these guys out. This is the greatest thing to happen. And I don't mean that like I want to see anyone get hurt, because that's not what it's about.
No.
This is, everyone's waiting for a change. This is WWE's opportunity to capitalize on that change. This is a chance for the young talent to show what they can do and make a name for themselves and step up. So this can only be good for the rest of the roster.
I think that's cool. I mean, I hate that everyone's hurt. The only one that I actually wish wasn't hurt that really could be out there would be Seth Rollins, because he's been the one that's kind of been a force behind the whole movement and youth and stuff like that. But I think I've been saying this. I've said this to Steve for 3 years now, and I've said it to you guys a bunch of times. Bray Wyatt is the next big thing, other than after Roman Reigns, it's going to be Bray Wyatt time.
I agree.
And
100%.
you've seen that in the past 2 years where he's faced guys, that have really gave him a good rub.
Yeah.
And I think this year you'll see the same thing too. I think he's going to go against Brock Lesnar. I think that'll
100%.
probably be what happens, and just put on a show. But yeah, it'll be fun to see. I mean, you got Randy Orton hopefully coming back soon. I think he just posted something saying that he was kind of ahead of schedule. So who knows if we'll see him maybe in a couple weeks at Rumble. Other than that, I mean,
puts on a good match at WrestleMania. He's that one guy nowadays that's like CM Punk, and him and Big Show had a good match, and him and Rollins had a good match. It's just he's the guy to go to for a solid middle of the show kind of.
Or to open the show, yeah. I mean, in the last 2 years, he's had those sick out of nowhere RKO's that have really kind of put
the one against Rollins at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that triple threat match.
So hopefully he's back.
The one with what's her name? Freaking DiBiase and Rhodes. So he had that triple threat match at 25.
The Legacy Explodes match.
Yeah, Legacy Explodes.
But that should be fun. I mean, Randy Orton is always a good dude. I like him. He got stale when he was a champ, but after that, it was one of those things where you kind of miss him when he's gone. Steve, what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to happen in the next couple months?
Well, I think you're right, 100% with Bray Wyatt. He's the guy, and he already should have been the guy. They don't have anybody better on that roster right now that can tell a story as well as he can.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of things the WWE has dropped the ball on when it comes to the Wyatts. But, there's also news now, too, that Santana Garrett may actually be Sister Abigail, which would be very, very cool. So Sister Abigail could be coming. So it's just another dynamic that gets added. I see big things for the Wyatt family. Brock Lesnar, I still think is winning the Rumble. So I still stick with my... Yep, I'm Brock Lesnar all the way.
I think that's the case, and then that sets up Brock versus Roman Reigns at Mania.
Right.
Yeah, for his rematch or whatever.
And I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the Bullet Club invasion, which I think is going to happen during the Rumble.
You think it'll happen at Rumble?
Yeah. Like unannounced, they're just going to come out during the actual Rumble and start fucking people up.
They've been teasing it too. I think WWE.com had something on it, or they're actually selling like merchandise or something like that.
Vince McMahon tweeted a picture of him wearing a Bullet Club shirt.
Yeah, so there was something.
So
I saw
and
something.
there's one of Finn Balor wearing it too.
Right. Oh, and by the way, not to change the subject, but did you guys notice the newest T-shirt available now at WWE.com?
No, what is that?
It is the Vince McMahon mugshot T-shirt.
Oh, Jesus.
I might actually get one.
That's actually pretty funny.
It's hilarious.
Brooklyn Police Department.
With that real funny face, and then the side view. Yep, it's the whole thing. It's hilarious.
That's funny. Anyway, guys, I gotta head out, but hopefully next week I can join back in and trying to get some notes, get you guys some updates and stuff like that.
Good to see you, boss.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Take care, brah.
Later. And just like that, he drops the mic.
Right?
Just like that.
I'm looking on the shop, in case anybody's wondering, there and this is funny as hell, all the T-shirts on the website are on sale today for $16, except Vince McMahon's. Full fucking price. You're gonna pay full price to get Vince McMahon's T-shirt, $24.99 in the pocket of Vince Kennedy McMahon.
So worth it. So worth it.
The other ones that are up here are actually really like it's literally every T-shirt you can think of on the website,
except the one that they're selling the most of.
Right, exactly. You can get that New Day one with the blind unicorn if you really, really want.
Do you know those unicorn horns sold out?
That's amazing.
That does not surprise me. That does not surprise me.
It surprises me because it's not a thing I would be proud to wear in public.
T-shirt is one thing, but a unicorn horn, that's a whole other...
How do you find a use for it otherwise?
It's the kids.
It's the kids. All right, but I mean, what about these? There are adults that have bought them. As soon as they get home, or maybe even as soon as they start walking to the car in the arena, they're gonna put it by their dick and start swinging it like a pee-pee. It's gonna happen if you're 30 plus and you bought a unicorn horn. You're just
like Joey Ryan, the
little lightsaber battles.
King of Dong style.
It'd be like Spaceballs. The Schwartz fight.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Real quick, before we move on to other stuff,
yes.
Also on Raw, if you noticed, Stardust had a little David Bowie tribute last night.
That was great.
He had the face paint like Ziggy Stardust, which was really cool. David Bowie, rock legend, passed away yesterday. That's a huge loss to the music business.
Absolutely. He's. I was listening to a little bit of his stuff yesterday, and it was You know, he was a one of a kind of musician. So, and 69 years old is never that's.
He must have hid that because I didn't know he was sick at all.
No, I didn't. I hadn't heard anything like that, and I'd like to think I keep up on current events, so it must have been something like that where he kept it.
But
on
anyway,
wraps.
I thought that was a nice thing to do.
Yeah. Did you see? Did you watch Triple H's eulogy at Lemmy's funeral?
Yes.
That was nice. That was very
That was
nice.
cool. Very entertaining. They even in fact yesterday they posted a meme of it's Lemmy and Bowie together, and Lemmy's like, "So you want to jam?"
Hey, by the way, not to change subject, but going back to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I know you guys mentioned the Freebirds being rumored.
Right.
I also got Stan Hansen as a rumor.
Oh.
I have Vader as a rumor.
Yes, I heard. You know, I heard that one.
Yeah, and JBL.
Oh,
I think
okay,
they need
that
a
would
little
make
more
sense.
time before JBL, to be honest.
I think so too, but
I mean, not for nothing. How many years has it been really since he's been an active wrestler, though?
very true. Very true.
You know what I mean? Jerry Lawler, does commentary and whatever. So I don't see any reason why. Might as well.
And then he's got to be inducted by Ron Simmons.
And the speech should only be, "Damn," and that's it. That's
How
the
awesome
whole
would that
speech.
be?
Wow. And then to talk more about the fucking injuries continue.
Yep.
So now I'm also getting word that Sasha Banks is out with a knee injury.
Yeah, Sasha's denying that, but people are reporting it, and then they're also saying that. And again, this is just further fucking conspiracy shit. That they're not saying it. They're not saying she's injured because they don't want to alarm people because of all the other injuries. They've told everybody about all the other injuries, so why not tell them about one more?
According to this, she's got an MCL knee injury.
Right. They're saying that. Okay, they're saying that she's injured. They're saying that Paige is injured.
Right, she's got a concussion.
And Barrett's
Nikki's
still
still out.
not doing good, right? Barrett hasn't wrestled in a while, right? Yeah, he's still not
hasn't wrestled.
He's still not taking bumps.
And Nikki is out still. She should be
Nikki's
back
out.
soon.
Oh, is she coming back? I thought they were.
I thought it was like going to be the end of January or something
Okay,
like that.
I didn't know if they were making a call on whether or not she should come back. You know, like maybe she should retire kind of thing. I don't know. I didn't know how severe it was.
And, you got, in NXT, you got Hideo Itami still out.
Yep.
Zayn just returned from injury. And then there's the whole Daniel Bryan debacle, which we don't have to get into.
Well, he wants to come back, and he's posting all this shit online that he wants to come back. Which people are speculating, is this a work? Is this is he really cleared and WWE's not saying anything and he's going to be a surprise at the Royal Rumble, which is plausible, but
that the Rumble is it would only
work if he won, right? It would only work if he won.
It always backfires. You can't have him in there unless you have him winning. You can't have him in the final 3. You can't have him in the final 2. If he doesn't win, you're going to alienate the rest of your show. Well, not really. I mean, that's the end. But no.
I agree. I don't especially with the title. Excuse me.
That's
the title
the
on the
mistake
line.
they made last year by having him come back for the Rumble.
Well, him last year was a fucking joke because not only did he make his triumphant return, but he was out in 3 minutes. They just fucking shit on the crowd. And
not just
we still
him.
run this bitch.
And not just him, but the other crowd favorites like Dean Ambrose or Dolph Ziggler, they threw out like ragdolls. And Bray Wyatt, who was the freaking MVP of that Rumble.
He really was
thrown
the
out
MVP.
after he was awesome, and then throw him out like a ragdoll. Then they have freaking Big Show and Kane at the end. The whole stupid thing with Rusev. The Rock couldn't even get Reigns.
Dude, Rusev is another one. He's injured.
I was
and
wondering
Sin
about
Cara.
him. What happened to Rusev?
Sin Cara is fucking gone too.
The whole fucking they're dropping like flies. What's in the Kool-Aid?
The League of Nations isn't much of a league anymore.
No.
Tell you what, Don Morocco never got injured like this.
Right?
You know, I hate to say it, but this idea that smaller wrestlers are more durable or skinnier guys, you know, you don't put as much pressure on your heart by not having as much muscle mass, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Fucking, the only guy that ever really got injured was Hulk Hogan because he was sitting on his ass every finish, every night, 300 nights a year. If he had a different finish, he'd be walking around fine. Look at Tito Santana. That guy's wrestled for 600 years, and he walks upright. It's amazing. These old school guys, it was just the style of match that they wrestled. They weren't doing all of this. Like, in what house show, in what universe would Hulk Hogan or Don Morocco or George the Animal Steel be doing a sunset flip powerbomb off the top rope through a table? No universe. Nobody. Jimmy Hart walked out and say, "Hey, baby, you want to do sunset flip powerbomb off the top rope through a table?" And then Hulk Hogan go, "What are you, high, brother?" He go, "Yeah, baby." He says, "I'm not doing that shit, brother." And then that would be the end of the fucking conversation. Seth Rollins is like, "Hey, is this a house show in Des Moines, Iowa in front of 3,000 people? Let me just fuck up my entire year." Like, that's really it. That's just, don't do that shit on a house show. If you're gonna do these kind of stunts, save them for pay-per-view. Save them for where you're making money.
Yeah, no, it's 100%.
Like, Matt Taven got injured and he tore the shit out of his knee. But guess what? He tore the shit out of his knee on pay-per-view. He was trying to do something fucking cool. At least he made the attempt. Like, I don't know. Save your big shit for pay-per-view. That's my point.
Like when Brock tried the Shooting Star Press, he didn't do it at any show. He did it at
WrestleMania. Absolutely.
And it was the biggest fucking botch in the world. How scary was that, man? I remember watching that like it was yesterday.
But if for that slim percentage point, him hitting it,
it would have been amazing.
It would have been spectacular.
It turned from what could have been the biggest WrestleMania moment ever that will be replayed forever and ever because this athletic guy did a really, really athletic thing to the most played clip from WrestleMania ever because he almost fucking died.
Yeah.
It's still famous. It's just famous it's infamous. Rather.
In the wrong way, yeah.
That's Oh, and you watch that.
That, I mean, you know, like when Austin got pile driven by Owen.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam, that's another one of those. And we don't even need to go into Sid at all.
Or when that fucking guy Perfect dropped his shoulder and gave a concussion to Antonio Brown.
Well, but that's the thing with Sid. Sid, there was no reason he should have ever been on a top rope. Ever.
He didn't want to do it. He was told to do it by, I don't know, Johnny Ace or somebody from whoever was booking WCW at the time and backstage, or Bill Barons. I don't even fucking know who did it. One of those guys was like, "Yeah, go off the top rope. You gotta do it." He's like, "I really don't want to do this shit." He's like, "Oh, it looks so good. Just fucking." So he fucks it up. But long story short, because he was told to do it, and there was a risk of liability, and the management knew that there was a severe risk of injury and liability of him doing the move, and he had already requested he already made it known he was uncomfortable doing the move. He was able to sue them for a lot of money. So he still walks fucked up and he walks with a cane, but at least he got a little bit of money for it. But God, when I cannot watch that ever.
It's too brutal.
I can never watch it. I saw it once live, and then I've seen it a couple times online, and every time I see it,
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's no good.
Speaking of Sid, that's another one that could be a future Hall of Famer.
The master and ruler of the
What do you
universe.
think?
100%.
I love Sid.
I always like Sid.
I'm a big fan of Sid. I know people kind of shit on him, and yes, he's a big man. He works big man matches. That's what he does. He just happened to do it pretty good. Like he's no Bruno Sammartino, and he's no, Nature Boy, Ric Flair or anything, or he wasn't ever going to be a technical guy, but he was a big guy. He shouted. I loved it. Like,
and you know what? He was one of the few. He was Sid Justice, and he was able to play a great face, and he was Psycho Sid and Sid Vicious, and he was a great heel.
Yep.
He was able to do both, and when he was Psycho, he was Psycho. And it was great. He did a great job with it. His promos were great. Yeah, he was so committed, and it came through. He was so much fun to watch.
And even if the matches weren't great, it was still fun to watch. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he did the power bomb, he did the big boot. How much other stuff can a guy who's 7 feet tall do?
Even his music got you
His
like
music was fantastic.
it was awesome.
It was, it was one of those things where everything came together for a gimmick of being an absolute crazy person.
Well, and to go crazy on Hulk Hogan is the way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I mean, you're eventually going to have to job out to him, but guys like Tugboat got a rub from him for a while. It was like Tugboat was his best friend, and then he turned on him, and then like Earthquake was his best friend, and he turned on him. Sid Justice and him were bros.
Every
and they
person
turned-
that Hogan's tagged with turned on him. Orndorff,
Macho Man. Orndorff.
Brutus.
Yep.
Andre, all of them.
That man has butchered a friendship.
The Butcher. Oh my God.
That was awful. Oh man. I can't wait to have Vince Russo on the show.
Better behave.
I'm gonna behave. We're still gonna have to have him pick his top 5 on a poll matches, though. That's my stipulation. I want to see what his answers are. I'm curious. Do you think the Viagra on a pole match outranked the Judy Bagwell on a pole match? Or did you think the Pinata on a pole match? Pinata! 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 Like, maybe that's just... I don't know. That might be my favorite, because Dr. Death was out there in a Hawaiian shirt. And why not?
And his trademark mullet.
Oh, my God. Oh, gee. He had the same Tupperware cereal bowl that he just used to put on his head.
It's so funny.
You know, that's what I love about wrestling. We met Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh no, did he have that
And
same...
He had the same freaking mullet that he had in the 80s, and it was fantastic.
Looked exactly the same.
Yeah, Jimmy Hart's hair is forever preserved, too.
Yeah.
The things that Jimmy does to his hair to make it... I mean,
I love it. It's
awesome.
so much.
But again, committed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other guy that puts that much work into his hair is Sammy Callahan. He has straighteners and brushes and dryers and all kinds of hairspray and shit.
Does he really?
He gets his hair to do... Did you ever see his promo picture from like NXT and stuff? His hair is all this big, weird... I can't even describe it. It's just like... It's like anime. Like when Goku goes Super
it does
Saiyan or
kind of
something.
look like anime.
Yeah, he puts a lot of effort into it. I'm curious as to what he does when he comes in on the 30th. Which, okay, this is kind of a segue. How about this? I don't know if you heard. You probably did because you saw it on Facebook. But on the 30th in Bethany, when we do the Over the Top Rumble, the Northeast Wrestling title was recently vacated by Matt Taven, and the winner will earn the title. So it's anybody's ball game. And we got a lot of
Shakes
contenders.
things up a bit. That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a very cool show.
Because there are a lot of, there was a lot of opportunity. Because think about Warbeard, who just won the King of Bethany. He's on a roll. He could win the title. It could be Dijak, who has been running through everybody. It could be TK Orion, who he's like the fan favorite. He might not be the biggest guy, but he beat Dijak in the tournament semifinal. So the King of Bethany semifinal. So it's an open field. There are 30 guys, which means anybody can be in it, and it's a new champion. Unfortunately, it comes at the cost of losing, and not just to Northeast Wrestling, but to wrestling in general, losing Matt Taven for quite a while. Because, as I said earlier, he required 2 different surgeries, and if you go to the Matt Taven Facebook page and you give it a like, it'll he's got the full actual picture of the medical report on there, and it's gruesome, the nature of the injury. So
we wish him all the best for sure.
absolutely, and as do I. He had his first surgery today and posted on Facebook that he's doing all right. So far so good. I know there's a second. They probably have to wait for swelling to go down, for it to heal, et cetera, before they go in again. But I've been through knee surgery, and I know people who have, and it's not fun. And you're laid up for a long time. You don't really get the chance to move around. And if you're moving around, you're on crutches, and it's not really comfortable to move around. So kind of a shit situation all around. But I think if he comes back, and I think if he's gonna come back the way I think he's coming back, it's gonna be the same kind of reaction and the same kind of fire that Seth Rollins is gonna show when he comes back. Because the crowd's going to go bullshit when Seth Rollins comes back, and he's going to have a brand new kind of attitude, probably in a new gimmick or whatever. This is a chance for Matt to refocus himself. The Kingdom's done. He's he's injured, so he has to re-sign in March, I think, with Ring of Honor. So who knows what's going to happen with that? You can't really sign with somebody while you're on the bench. It's an opportunity for him to not start from scratch, but take what he's got and see what works and see what doesn't, and come back fresh. I'm just trying to look at it positively for him, because I know it's not I've been there. I've sat in that chair, and you're like, well, shit, this is where I'm going to sit for the next 6 months. And it sucks. So I think if he spent that time, focusing, working on his character, working on whatever, watching tape, watching DVDs and interviews and matches and stuff, and learning. So I think it's an opportunity for him to do that, and it'll take his mind off the fact that it sucks that he's disabled or temporarily laid up. So all around, just an opportunity to better himself while healing, kind of as a way to take his mind off of things. Just my 2 cents.
He'll be just fine.
I think he's going to come back
bigger and stronger.
Absolutely.
But now, so here's a question for you. With Callahan, any insight as to what happened? Why he opted out of his NXT contract?
Yeah, he did a shoot interview with RF Video, and they put a preview of it, and it's maybe about 5 minutes, and it's up on YouTube. He kind of goes into it there. The gist of it is they kept telling him they had something for him, but you just needed to wait a little while. It's going to be a month. Don't worry about it. Oh, we're going to do it. We're going to get you. We have this idea. It'll be awesome. Just hold on a second. Hold on. And he said, I'm giving him till the first of the year. And the first of the year, they said, all right, we got something great for you. He says, all right, let's do it. And they said, yeah, but we can't do it right now. We've got to wait a little while. And he's like, no, I'm done. So... And it wasn't like a frustrated thing. I mean, it was a frustrated thing because he was frustrated, but it wasn't like a nasty split. It was a very amicable split, and I think there's opportunity for him to return, because 2 or 3 years ago, they were the ones that sought him out. So he was always seen as, like, even with the trainers, and they kind of go into it in the preview, and I think I'm going to probably end up either getting the shoot or watching the shoot somehow. The trainers really liked him. He was one of those guys that just did what was asked, and he was a solid. I think his problem was, as he goes into it in the trailer, he was brought in at a time where they didn't really know what to do with indie guys, and then like a year later they brought in like Kevin Steen and all them, and he's like, shit, if only I was brought in like 6 months or a year later. You'd think I would have a leg up on them having the year experience, but I don't, because they're now the fresh faces, and now they're starting to finally understand what to do with indie guys, and they kind of left him behind. So
right, guys like Finn Balor and Apollo Crews and
Sammy
are starting to find their niche.
Yeah. So I think it would be a good interview to watch, and yeah, if you watch it on YouTube, it's like a solid 5-minute trailer. It's real good. Rob is always a little awkward asking the questions. It's just funny because, I always crack up at the Philly accent, and I think it's because of like Viva La Bam and Jackass. Whenever I hear anybody talk with a Philly accent, I automatically think of those guys, and it's funny to me. So, but it's a good opportunity to see what's going on with Sammy.
I wonder if they'll get into that when Breaking Ground returns.
Oh,
that's interesting. Maybe
that would be something.
Because look at Breaking Ground. They highlight the highs and the lows. Like one of the lows was guy like Sabatino getting cut back to the original training, and that other guy getting getting let go, and the NXT announcer girl, I forgot what her name was. She got let go. She was the one that they kept having Dana Brooke pet her head, and I thought they would eventually, especially if they were gonna get rid of her anyway, that would have been a great way to go, where she finally has enough of Dana Brooke and tries to get in the ring finally, and then Dana Brooke says, "Okay, well, if you lose, then you're done," and that would have been a great way for her to go.
Yeah, and it would be nice. That's the thing about NXT that I think they were more prone to do before it became a television program or became as popular of a television program. Even back in the Florida Championship Wrestling days, was experiment with things. They bring somebody out for a show or two, and if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. And I'm not saying that they didn't do that on house shows. Perhaps they did, but they used to take a chance and throw somebody on. They'd give them a match on TV, and they'd sink or swim, and then you'd see what happened. I think everybody that gets signed to NXT, not that they're owed anything, but I think they're owed one TV match to try and get over. If you can't get over in your first TV match, not that everybody gets over in their first match, but you're owed at least one, I feel. Even if you suck, you got to have one. Eva Marie has had like 6 fucking matches. You deserve one, whoever you are, Sabatino, whatever. Give him a shot.
I agree. 100%. 100%.
The worst thing that could happen is that you had a bad match. Oh well. Did the stock price drop? Did people unsubscribe from the network due to the quality of that one match? No. You know, it's a thing that happened. It's a learning experience. That's what NXT is. It's a learning experience, and I hope as they expand it as a brand that they don't reduce the scope of it.
Well, I can tell you that I've been hearing rumors now that there's talks that the Wolves and Motor City Machine Guns are on their way to NXT.
I heard both of those. I don't know how true they are, how accurate they are, but either one would be great.
Both would be amazing.
Yeah, both would be like WWE buying TNA almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
They may as well have. TNA let go Suicide, T.J. Perkins.
Oh. He was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, he was good, but how far do you go with...
It didn't matter to me, because, again, like, I haven't watched really Impact in, like, quite a while, so I don't really care.
Right. Huh. And again, I haven't watched it. I should probably watch the new stuff and give it a chance, but I'm kind of gun shy about going back to TNA. You know what I mean?
I also reading that Jordan and Gable are going to appear at one of the Evolve events.
Yes. Yep. I heard that as well.
And they finally got a name. American Alpha apparently is their name.
Okay, I like it. And then
they're so over. It's awesome.
They are. They also announced that they're on the WWE India tour that's coming up. So good for them.
Right. Good for them.
Hopefully that could be the next NXT Tag Team Champions, because I was really sure that Enzo and Cass were going to have their moment. I still don't quite understand.
I don't understand either. You'd
like,
think
I'm okay with Cruz losing to Corbin. I could deal with that, but I still think Enzo and Cass should have won the belts.
They probably should have won them in Brooklyn.
Yes.
They should have been involved in the title chase in the first place in Brooklyn.
Right. That was strange to me. And then Blue Pants out of nowhere.
Oh, speaking of Blue Pants, apparently that whatever problem they had with her is probably gone, because
yeah, she's back.
She's appeared in 1 or 2 events since then.
She's cool. I would like to interview Blue Pants. I know her name.
I love her stuff. The stuff that she does. The outside, dressing up in
the cosplay stuff. Yeah, like she does that. She did a really good Fallout 4 Vault Dweller costume, and she has one for wrestling. Like, she wrestles in it. It's very cool looking. And then I think the one she
like the female Finn Balor kind of like deal.
Yeah, like have a special like costume that she breaks out only when she needs to.
And that makes you wonder, Finn Balor, what is he going to pull off for Texas? Because he came out as freaking Jack the Ripper in London. So
He's gonna come out as one of the
some
Waco.
demonic cowboy thing going on.
He's gonna come out as one of the Waco guys, and Michael Cole's gonna have to sit there for 6 days and call it. I'm sorry, that's rude.
Too soon?
Yeah, right. Is there a too soon on Waco? Anyway, yeah. Well, I'm thinking like El Torito already has the bull thing, so he really can't look like a bull demon. El Chupacabra. There we go. That's what it'll be. That's my guess. El Chupacabra.
The person that can pull that off, it's Finn Balor.
It's a mythological creature. It could work. I don't know how intimidating a chupacabra is. I've never met one. I've seen pictures online, supposedly, like sketches and whatever, but I don't know. I've never met. Let me see if a chupacabra. I'm gonna Google this shit.
Because we know what Bigfoot's supposed to look like, and even a Yeti. The Yeti!
Right. Yeti!
And no, it's not supposed to look like a fucking mummy. Who
Right?
humps Hulk Hogan?
Oh, that's so strange that's a thing that happened. The Wikipedia chupacabra sketch looked, like it looked like scaly, like something like a slee stack from the Land Before Time. And then there's other ones that kind of make it look like a big vampire-y greyhound. So I don't know, or like a werewolfy kind of deal. So maybe he could do it. He'd have to be eating a goat, because that's what they do. They eat goats. Would WWE let him eat a goat live on
Daniel
TV?
Bryan is doomed.
Oh no, they do the only one work El Chupacabra versus the goat. And they could have the poster.
It sells itself.
It does. Oh, before we close out today, important update on Shinsuke Nakamura. It turns out that he has given his
bless
notice. Thank you. He's given his notice to New Japan and has vacated the IWGP Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're going to crown a new champion on the 30th or the 31st. There's a show coming up. So he's done. He's officially done. And that's the first we've heard from anybody on the record, at least, that they, any of those guys are making a move. We've heard a lot of rumors, and WWE's posting stuff on the website, but this is the very first guy that is officially done with New Japan and is doing something else. So we shall see.
It makes you wonder, though, because he just happens to be part of that group that's rumored to be going, but he's not part of the Bullet Club.
I don't think he'd be involved, and he shouldn't be.
What do you think that they would do with him, especially if he goes right up to the main roster?
If he went right up to the main roster, he could feud with... Christ. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, 3-4 months ago, he might have gotten lost on the roster, but now with so many injuries going on.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how they have him booked. I think it would be nice to bring him in at the same time you bring in another NXT guy, just to get two new faces in there. I know you probably have to throw an established guy his way at first, but it would be nice, a nice transition for somebody else to kind of come up. Maybe they kind of do it as, he's a hot new international talent, and he issues open challenges like John Cena did, or offers some kind of incentive for wrestling him.
What I'd like them to do is next time somebody comes up from NXT to the main roster, is for them to actually put some thought into it, have an idea for them to do. Don't just bring someone up when they're not ready. Like, I'm sorry, Baron Corbin is not ready.
Is he coming up to the main roster?
No, I don't think so, but I'm just saying he's not, someone like him is not ready. Whereas Samoa Joe, I'd rather have him come up now.
Absolutely. People like Tyler Breeze, and I don't mind Tyler Breeze.
But they didn't have anything for him other than the little thing with Dolph Ziggler and Summer Rae. What the hell?
So why bother? He was better off. He was much better off in NXT.
The kid deserved it, though.
He did. He does. He definitely does deserve to be on the main roster, but not like that.
Like Balor is in no hurry to go to the main roster. Neither is Bayley.
Nope.
Bailey should stay at least until they get a few more women in NXT where they have a respectable division again. Because when they lost Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky all in one fell
they
swoop,
cleaned
and that's
it out.
a lot of people to lose in such a strong division. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Asuka now, which is awesome, and the rumors of Santana Garrett, which would be awesome because she's been killing it in the indie scene for a long time.
And she's a sweetheart.
Yeah. We met her. She's awesome.
All right, boys. It's about
Yeah.
top of the hour.
I think so. Anybody got any final
Don't you
thoughts?
dare be sour.
TagMeADate.com. Check it out. First month's free. Come back next week. Check out the War Report every week.
That's right. Now, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't once again mention Northeast Wrestling Over the Top Rumble. The 30-man Rumble for the Northeast Wrestling Championship, the grandest prize in all the biz, if you will. Matt Taven, again, has been injured, severe knee injury, has vacated the championship, and this is an opportunity for one of our 30 superstars to grab the brass ring, so to speak. And I would recommend you stop by. I would recommend you buy your tickets early because I know even a few weeks ago, right around Christmas, the front 2 rows were sold out, and it's not a very big building, so you got to get your tickets early. I wouldn't expect to get one day of, so definitely order them online. Go to northeastwrestling.com. And I think it's going to be a hell of a show. And I know I always say that, and I'm always right, but it's a hell of a show, so definitely come and check it out. And also check out tagmeadate.com because there are big things popping and little things dropping all the time over there. We have a few projects on the way that I am excited about, and I can't wait to share with you guys. And when they do drop, they'll be right here on the War Report. You can check us out every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. on the East Coast. Go to youtube.com, type in Tag Me a Date, all one word, Tag Me a Date, squeeze it all together, no spaces. Press enter. You will get to our page, our channel, where you can subscribe, you can like our videos, you can watch the archive of other past episodes of the War Report, and you can also check out a few other videos, like videos from Noel Foley and Frank the Clown, and from our good buddy Married at First Sight, the reality show, Jason Carrion, who I think I'll play a little audio clip from. And again, you can check out his show as well. Jason Carrion from Married at First Sight. Is it A&E? I think it's A&E. Anyway, let's play a little clip from him.
Hi, I'm Jason Carrion. I got married to a complete stranger, but you don't have to go through that. I want to talk to you about something called Tag Me a Date. Now, Tag Me a Date, you create your profile, and you can meet other wrestling fans. You can meet people, develop relationships with them, and you don't got to go through what I had to go through, where trying to develop a wrestling relationship with my wife. Well, she's growing on it, but not as much as you can grow into another relationship on Tag Me a Date. The first month is free, and I personally absolutely love it, and would do it if I didn't get married to a stranger. So do it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Go ahead. What are you still waiting for? Click.